Hello and Merry Christmas to everybody. How are you? What an amazing week and month and year this has been. Today's December 25th. I'm in a rush. But it's been an amazing year. It's been a crazy, turbulent, amazing year for a whole lot of people. And I'm just grateful that a lot of us made it. And a lot of people that I know did not make it to this day. And may all their souls rest in peace. I don't know what to tell you, but it's just been a crazy year. I fell, I broke my shoulders, and a lot of things happened. Today, I got one of my sisters back. I'm so excited. I'm glowing from the inside out. God is amazing. I mean, well, for God to be amazing, we too have to try to do something. You can't just lay down and do nothing. You know, I believe in working it till you make it. I believe in accountability. I believe in owning your ish. So today, I'm very proud to say I got on the phone with one of my very good friends that I call his sister. And I apologize for whatever hurt I might have caused her. I apologize for my jagbajantis behavior. I apologize for a whole lot of things. And I feel amazing. And this is, you see, when people give gifts, we sometimes forget that gifts are not only what money can buy. Sometimes telling somebody you're sorry about something that happened is a gift on its own. So setting somebody free from that pain and hurt that you've caused them is a gift on its own. So when I got off the phone with that sister, I'm not going to say her name, I was like, oh my God, you know, we're celebrating the life of Jesus Christ, right? And I figure I'll post something, but let me not be rude. Hi, it's Moji. From Authentic Conversations with Moji. We're no longer having breakfast on my pages. This is on my private page for a purpose. So it's Authentic Conversations with Moji starting January 1st. We're not doing breakfast with Moji anymore. There's no tea, there's no gossip on my shows. It's just real life conversations. And I'm hoping to take Authentic Conversations out of my studio, which is my home, and out into the real world where we get to meet people and talk to them about real life issues and things that are really going on in our lives. Hi Morenike, hi Chike, hi Bether, I'm gonna say your name. Hi Mimi, how are you? Mimi Angelo, long time no see. Those bracelets, keep them coming, they're fabulous, thank you so much. Hi Mr. Badamosi, good afternoon. Merry Christmas everybody, my Christmas was spectacular. Not because of the amazing gift my wife gave me, but because of the gift of love and friendship that I realized that I'm surrounded by. Because a lot of times when we've been through so much, very often we forget to count those little things, and we forget to thank those people in our lives that make our day-to-day time on this earth very precious. So to all of you guys, all of you amazing people that have been on my thread for many years, you've seen me go through, you know, transformations. A lot of you know me from when I owned the office and down and up and yo-yo and, you know, now. So I'm very grateful for your time, because time is the most precious thing you can give anybody, right? So it's Authentic Conversations with Moji. Today's an amazing day to do that, to start that. And let me read to you what I wrote about an hour ago after I got off the phone, yeah? Because one of the things, when you're transforming and you're going through a transformation, it's a very painful period in most of our lives. For those of you guys that have transformed in maybe a job, switched jobs, maybe you just got out of a bad relationship, maybe you got married, maybe whatever, no matter how good or bad it is, it's still a transformation, right? So as I was starting the day, I wrote a piece earlier, and I knew people would not get it. I knew people would be like, what is she talking about? But I threw it out there as a post that says, today I met a poor, weird-looking homeless man wandering the streets with fellow homeless people. He was standing outside a bar with some women of questionable morality. He is well known by the store owners in the area. Apparently, some of his friends are thieves, gangbangers, and dope fiends. He told me he was throwing a birthday party and had the nerve to invite me. Would you go? That was the question. And, you know, funny enough, a lot of people came on. Well, not a lot. A few people came on. 5 people came on. and said, Uncle Daya says I would not go with even with, and Mr. Adamu Brahima says, I would not go with even police escorts. Bullets have no names, and it might have alternative motives for your destiny. Shuku to you, Mr. Brahima. And then Tonya says, oh gosh, I probably wouldn't go. We'll form busy on that day. Okay. And Romeo says no. Marcus Williams says, why not? Marcus Williams. And then I'll tell you the story about Marcus Williams. Marcus Williams says, why not? I have been with them for 2 days and feel their world. Okay? Uncle Dayo Adenekon says, homeless or home more, why would you go to a stranger's party? Everybody in the world, most people in the world today celebrated the life of that man I just read to you. Okay, let me read it to you again. Because when we think about somebody that's holy and all that, we're thinking, oh my God, they don't hang out with, they don't know bad people. They don't hang out with bad people. They've never done anything bad. Not that Jesus ever did anything bad. But all of you guys celebrated the birth of Jesus Christ. And Jesus Christ is the man I was talking about in that post. So aside of everybody else that answered the question to this post, and I'll read it again, which said, and I'm going to post it under here as a thread, as a comment, so everybody can read it. The question was, today I met a poor, weird-looking homeless man wandering the streets with fellow homeless people. He was standing outside a bar with some women of questionable morality. He is well known by the store owners in the area. Apparently, some of his friends are thieves, gangbangers, and dope fiends. He told me he was throwing a birthday party and had the nerve to invite me. Would you go? 4 out of 5 people said no, they would not go. Well, all of us that are Christians or people that celebrate Christmas, we just celebrated the birth of Jesus Christ. The very same guy that we've been talking about for gazillions of years. Jesus Christ was that man. Jesus hung out with the homeless. He hung out with the poor. He hung out with so many different people. See, for me, as an omnist, because I have yet to go back to calling myself Christianity, even though I'm trying to make my way back. One of the things that I was fortunate enough to do, thank God, is that when I was going through what I call my Job moments, like a lot of people, I went searching for answers. I read the Quran, I read the Bible, I was a Buddhist, so I still practice meditation and things like that. What I find is that a lot of Christians and people that believe in Jesus Christ often look down at other people. They look down at people that are recovering alcoholics. They look down at people that are maybe the gangbangers. They look down at everybody. A lot of Christians look down at so many people. When you go to church, majority of their preachings is about people that are bad. Don't you dare. Homosexuals are going to jail. Are going to hell. In Nigeria now, they give us jail, 14 years in jail for being gay. In Nigeria and a lot of other places, Christians look down on transgenders. They didn't create themselves. Christians look down on this, they look down on that, they look down on prostitutes, they look down on this and that. But here's the catch. Marcus Williams is a man, I wrote a piece about him today, about 5-6 hours ago. I was sitting here all excited and happy and joyful. But one thing you guys know is that Moji, I never forget where I'm coming from. I never forget those many, many years when the market crashed in real estate and I went through hell. What I call hell, even though I did gra-gra and I made it fun. I made losing my home fun. I talked about losing my house. I talked about filing bankruptcy. I talked about a whole lot of things right here. And I remember a person that told me that they would never date me. They would never date somebody that has bad credit the very day I talked about filing bankruptcy. And today, but I'm not here to gloat. I'm here to ask you guys to reconsider the way you treat people. And I'll tell you why. Marcus Williams, about 2011 or Christmas 2011, my children had gone they went somewhere because every year we used to go away. And that particular year, that was one of the years that I had started not going places where I, Moji, as a lesbian woman, was not appreciated or fully accepted. Because it's not that they didn't tolerate me, but I was not appreciated. So I stopped going to certain places at that point in my life. And what happened was I was laying in bed, and Marcus Williams called me out of nowhere. I mean, this is not somebody I talk to. All he does is post prayers on his page. And he just called me out of nowhere. My phone didn't really ring. People were sending me Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, all in the inboxes and things like that. But Marcus Williams picked up the phone and he called me and said, hey, Merry Christmas. And I was like, who's this? He's like, Marcus Williams. I'm like, from Facebook? He said, yes. I thought to call you. And I'm thinking to myself, you know, left eye. Because at that point, I wasn't really trusting of a lot of people, especially Nigerians. Sorry, but I wasn't. So he picked up the phone and he talked and talked. Less than 10 minutes. What Marcus Williams did not know is that that day I was on the plank. I was on the very edge of tipping over of depression. Because my children at that point was all I ever lived for. They were everything, and I couldn't deprive them of a happy holiday because I now came out as a lesbian woman and society was not ready and willing to accept me. In the olden days when I was in the closet, I would always go to church because church is where I found sanctuary. I was a Sunday school teacher. I was an usher. I mean, I just served. I went to church like 3 or 4 days a week. And then when I came out, everybody seemed to turn their back on me. Okay? The very church people that, and I'll give you backup verses, but Marcus Williams called me that day and said, hey, Merry Christmas, yada, yada, yada. That one phone call stopped me from going over the edge. So today when I was celebrating and I was jubilant because, you know, I got an amazing present and all the ice in the world is just blinging all over the place. And I'm like, I remembered. See, a lot of us that are empaths, you know, we remember the pain of something. Somebody would post something on social media and I'll jump and people will be like, why are you doing that? Don't you mind your own business? Why are you such a poke noser? So today, I started to think about all of us, me included, right? I started to think about all of us that will see a poor person on the street, a beggar, a man that looks homeless, or a woman that looks homeless, that's carrying a card that says, I'm hungry. How many of you guys stopped to give that person any help? You know, last week I posted something on my public page and I said, what is the one thing you would want for Christmas? Somebody posted a car, somebody said 20,000, somebody said this, somebody said that. A few people said, you know, joy, happiness, whatever, whatever. And somebody posted chicken. Mind you, I live in the United States. Chicken. Chicken. My heart broke. Because that post, what it did for me was that it brought me back. Not that we like chicken because 99-cent store, my favorite store, till today. There's nothing like going through hell because it humbles the crap out of you, right? So the 99-cent store, folks, was my favorite store. And in those days, you can go to the 99-cent store and you can buy anything you want, anything, for 99 cents. So I used to make amazing meals. But she lives in Nigeria. She said, all I want is chicken for my children to make a special meal. Not that they would starve, not that they won't eat, not that they have no food at all. I'm sure she can make rice with some red oil like we all used to do when, you know, in those days in high school. All she wanted was chicken. And I sent the money to her because all she wanted was chicken. Because the way a lot of us spiritual people, I should say, and Christians, should behave is to think about what Jesus Christ will do. And I'll tell you a lot of what Jesus Christ did. I'm not a pastor. I'm not preaching to you. I'm not trying to convert you to Christianity. See, humanity is what we all have to start believing in. And not a religion. Let's stop talking about what we are. I'm a Christian. Oh my God, that person is this, that person is that. You don't know who Jesus Christ or what he looks like. A lot of you probably walked past Jesus Christ and you didn't even know. But yet today, you're celebrating his birthday. You're buying your loved ones amazing presents. Because this man came into the world. In Matthew 9 verse 10, Jesus had dinner with tax collectors, right? And Asha was. You know why? And I'm not quoting, no, I'm just paraphrasing, but you can pull it up. Anybody that wants to pull it up and put it as a post, please do. Okay, as a comment, do that for me. Matthew 9 verse 10. Jesus Christ had dinner with tax collectors. Tax collectors in those days were like area boys. They'll come, they'll collect the money, you know, they'll collect your taxes, but they'll put their own 10%. They were crooked, most of them. But Jesus Christ hung out with those guys, right? He had several dinners with tax collectors. He mingled with the people so he could get to know who they are. He mingled with the people so he could see how they live their lives. Now in Mark 2, verse 14, right? He found Mark, he found Matthew, and he said to Matthew, follow me. Matthew was a tax collector. Tax collectors were not highly respected. When tax collectors had parties in those days, and I didn't write it, it was a narration. It's just me, I read the Bible like a storybook. I don't read it like, oh yeah, the word of God. Shuku to all of you that believe it's exactly the word of God. The way I read the Bible, and a lot of people have come at me for it, is that I use it as a textbook. The same way if I'm taking a math class and they give me a book for algebra, this is the skinny, this is the problem, this is the formula you have to use to get to the solution. See, life is about living. If you're going to call yourself a believer, you have to be Christ-like. There's atheists in this world that do the right thing just because. Not because they want to go to heaven. Not because they think that they'll get their reward in heaven. Atheists do what they need to, what they do because that's the right thing to do. The right thing to do is to respect everybody. Gay, black, green, transsexual, transgender, monisexual, green card sexual. It doesn't matter, black, it doesn't matter what the culture is. See, a lot of my people, Nigerians, right? We like to talk a lot of yin yang. I'm telling you, you think Jesus Christ was born in Nigeria. The way people worship Jesus Christ, they go to church and they speak and they pray and they fast and they shout. I went to a church where they were shouting, die, 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 die. After 3 hours, I was tired. I sat down on the floor and said, hey, well, if everybody and everything dies in the universe, my God, who's going to be left? Right? So then I went further. I said, look, if this Jesus Christ, radical guy, because none of you guys of today, if Jesus Christ came today, none of us will recognize Jesus Christ, first of all. He looked like a bum, like a homeless guy just going from city to city. He didn't live in a condo. He didn't live in a mansion. He didn't have chariots. He didn't have anything major. He had a piece of cloth that looked like boo-boo. Boo-boo is a kaftan that Jesus Christ allegedly wore with sandals. Not Versace, not Armani. He didn't even have a private plane. My God, none of you guys will want to go and visit him to pray for you. Because see, we as a people, what we tend to do is we look for the latest pastor and we all run there. Which one can see. We're not blind. You are not deaf. Why can't you hear from God yourself? That's the question I started to ask myself 15 years ago. Why is it that I always have to run to somebody to tell me what God is saying? Why can't I connect with the universe myself? So I started to explore. I read the Ifa books. I took a class in Yoruba. Yoruba is what they call the Ifa culture. In Brazil, in America, but I took the class here. And I studied Ifa. Ifa is too strong for me. I can't do it. I prefer Jesus Christ has died for my sins. I'm sorry. You know? I do. Call me a lazy person. But what I then did was I started to study the books of deities, the books of Orishas, the books. I started to look at Shango. That's when I realized, Baba, Shango goes inside the water to go and visit Oshun. As a woman, hello, that explains to me why when you talk to Ifa priests and stuff, they don't say anything about homosexuality, because this is something that's been in our culture for thousands of years. But the Oyibo man brought the Bible and told us everything we need to know in Africa. So now in Uganda, they're killing gay people. In Nigeria, they want to give us free room and board. It's like, really? So God that created us all, according to his own image, according to the Bible, me, I wasn't there, so I can't even start to tell you stories. Moscato to you guys, excuse me. Right? I wasn't there, so I can't tell you what they did of it, but I can tell you what the book says. The book that we all go by, right? The book that's being used to flog everybody. Mark 2, verse 14. Jesus Christ found Matthew and he said, follow me. Matthew was a tax collector. I made notes. I did research. Anything you want is at the finger of Google. My best friend. You guys should try it sometimes. So Matthew was a tax collector and collects ogogoro and bribes and all kinds of stuff. And when all tax collectors get together, they usually bring women to dance and shake their hips and all that stuff. Can you imagine how funky Jesus Christ was? That he was running around with tax collectors of those days. Are you kidding me? They were drinking wine. Some churches will tell you you can't drink wine. You can't do this. You can't do that. You can't do... Well, come on now. God is only looking at our heart. and how we treat our brothers and sisters. Let me tell you, when you go into self-reflection and you start asking questions, the Bible, most churches don't like it. They don't like it because the more freedom you get, education. See, black people, the more you learn from you, the more questions I have. But what I know for a fact is that if Jesus Christ came today, after all you guys have killed so many cows, you've killed so many goats, I don't even know how many chickens died today, because in Nigeria they use chicken. Chickens are the ones that go to heaven today as a sacrifice for the birth of Jesus Christ. Let's take it one step further, because I look at people's posts, and a lot of us, me included, we look down at people, we talk about we're not the same class, we're not the same this, we're not the same that, right? If Jesus Christ walked around the way he looked in those days, with his long hair just flowing like a girl, hanging out with 12 men in 2019, December 2019, you meet a 35-year-old man, never been married, allegedly never had sex, always hung out with men, what would you think? Automatically, they'll be shouting, he's gay, he's gay. They won't, except for priests, though, and we can't even say that, because majority of the priests, God forgive me, are usually gay men in hiding. So they do the jiggy-jiggy amongst themselves. They can't get pregnant, so nobody ever finds out. But think about it. And I'm not saying Jesus Christ was gay. I'm just saying, no, I mean, look at the picture, clear picture. But yeah, you guys, you flog gay people with the same book that has a grown man, 35-year-old, who does not own a single spoke of tire. He didn't own a camel. He didn't even own a hoof. The guy walked around with 12 homeless men, right? They went from place to place. They slept under the sun. And then along the way somewhere, right? Along the way somewhere, Jesus Christ went and jammed this Ashewo woman. You know, I talk a lot about the lady by the well. People always go, why? Because I did my first sermon when I was going to become a minister. When I thought I wanted to become a minister, because I love to talk and I love religion and I like spirituality. The sermon that I did was done on the woman by the well, so I had to really study her well. And I had to get into her head to understand her. I heard that the sermon was very powerful in church. I actually got a standing ovation, but that's not that's not the point today. So along the way, when Jesus Christ was walking and chilling with taxpayers, tax collectors, and he was chilling with like thieves, ex-thieves, one of his gang members. Remember I said gangbangers? Well, they were a gang. Jesus Christ walked around with 12 men that didn't own a house. They didn't own a camel. They just went from place to place and they just happened to get food wherever they got the food. Right? Along the way somewhere, the guy just jammed Boga. He went and he met a lady, a woman by the well, who, because Jesus Christ is spiritual, he could see her aura. He could read who that woman is. A lot of you and I, we call it intuition. We call it intuition when we feel people's aura, when we feel people's energy. When I can look at somebody's shoes or something and kind of, I don't know what it is. I can kind of sort of guess what they're going through. Maybe it's just psychology classes I took, who knows. But then you have people like my wife that just like somebody or she doesn't like them. And then later on you find out that person is weary or whatever. But we all have intuition, but yet we discard it. Jesus Christ could have just walked away from this woman. He could have gone to the house of the king and said, I want water. He didn't do that. He sat there by the well and waited for this woman, this wretched woman that people, me and you will call her Shewo, Olori Bruku Omali. You know, she's a floozy. She's a money sexual. She sleeps with everybody's husband. We will discount her. But this homeless looking guy that you guys don't want to go to his birthday party, but you continue to celebrate his birthday every year with gazillions of dollars spent on his birthday every year, sat by the well, waited for the lady by this well. When she got there, and Jesus Christ said to her, I think she must have, I'm paraphrasing also, you guys can go do your own homework, JJ. But me, I'm paraphrasing. Jesus Christ probably said something like, hey, hi, your buddy. I beg, give me some water. And she probably looked back and said, you notice they never gave her a name. But she's in the Bible. A lot of the people that you and I discount, we discount, are people that will be somebody. This lady by the well that doesn't have a name, 2,000 years later, we're still speaking about her. 200,000, I don't even know what year this thing happened. We're still talking about the lady by the well, a woman that has no name. When there were pharaohs and there were this and there were kings and queens that were clothed in gold threaded clothing. We're still talking about the lady by the well. The lady by the well who Jesus looked at and said, hey, baby. When Jesus must have said, kiniko, or something. And Jesus said, baby, aren't you the same woman that has 5 husbands? Who has 5 husbands in those days? Usually it's the men that had 5 husbands. And then Jesus looked at her and said, even the one that you're with, Seth, the man you're with, Seth, is not even your own. Which means Lady by the Well was just sleeping around, JJ. We don't know what her problem is. We don't know why she did what she did. She's probably one of those discarded women, you know, hurt, who's been broken into a million pieces. The point, what I got from that story, which touched me, is that there's so many of us that have been hurt, that we've gone through hardships, that we have traumas from our childhood. My mother left when I was 1. I have whatever they call it. My doctor, my therapist said I had abandonment issues. I've been working on it for like 12 years. It's still there. But they give you tools to manage it. So I don't get close to people. Look, if I meet you, I become we're friends for right now. I don't expect anything from you. I don't want anything from you, because every time I want something from, I expect anything from anybody, I get disappointed. You know, but one thing I've loved to do is to love people as they come to me. And you guys should try that. You really should, because when Jesus Christ looked at this woman that's considered a Sherwood, that's discarded by society, you know, the same thing you do when you see a fat woman, you just say, or a lot of you Nigerians, when you meet somebody that's like really stellar, a lot of women, you meet somebody that's really stellar, but because they don't do gra-gra, because they don't do shakara, I like attention. I used to be a model. I like people to say, Pele, clap, hey, you look good. There are a lot of people that don't need that in their lives. There are a lot of people that are just who they are. When a lot of women come in my inbox in the past 2 days asking me, you have to teach me how to get a partner. I'm like, teach you how to get a partner, honey. You need to become authentic first. Lady by the Well was her true self. She didn't lie about who she is. She didn't pretend to be a virgin. She was just her true self. Authenticity is what makes you attract what belongs to you. Authenticity is what makes you find that partner. A lot of you guys are in jacked up relationships. I'm sorry, I just took it way left. But a lot of you guys are in jacked up relationships because you're not your authentic self. So the person that you're supposed to be with, you can't find because you're too busy hiding. Oh, I'm gay. I don't want the world to find out. I don't want anybody to know. So you marry Jakuredu woman. God forgive me. You were married an amazing woman that was meant for somebody else. So now you've made the woman miserable because you're miserable. And because it just goes on, snowballs. But the lady by the well was her true self. And Jesus Christ still loved her. Right? Still loved her. Are you guys with me so far? You guys are quiet. I know when it comes to the Bible, people don't like Moji talking about it because I'm going to bring it down to earth and just make it simple. Let's start to break things down to the point where we really understand what we're supposed to be doing with this book. And stop allowing people to tell you that what they think the book is supposed to tell you. The more you read, the more you open your mind, the more you'll be able to connect with God and the universe. If you don't believe in God, I'm sure you believe in the universe. You believe that there's neurons in the air. There's energies that you pick up. You know, you believe that when you speak with your tongue, the Bible says that. Speak life into your life. Speak what you want into reality. You know, a lot of people stop pretending and stop discounting people. You want to get a good partner, be what it is that you're looking for in that partner. There's something that attracted my wife to me. It sure wasn't my good looks, trust me. Because I'm what they call a hen. There's a lot of embryos out there. But this hen, I'm the one that we jammed, we collided by accidental, who? So many people on social media, you have the ability to hang out with people that are super fantabulous. People that you will never meet. People that I will never meet. I have met through social media. But you discount them. Places where your blessings are, you walk past because they're not serving Dom Perignon. So you miss out on your blessing. Today, we're still talking about the lady by the well. Nobody knows her name. But we know for a fact that she was blemished. We know for a fact that she was not a virgin. We know for a fact that she was sleeping with other women's husbands. But yet, that homeless looking man, the Son of God, that walked around with no salubata, that walked around without a private plane, that walked around and his needs were always met. He accepted water from her. Mark 2:17. Jesus said, and I'm quoting, "It's not the healthy that need a doctor, but the sick." It's not the healthy that need a doctor, but the sick. He also said something that I have held on to for many years, which is basically, the sick will get into heaven before the righteous man. See, so when you go to church and they start telling you, oh, you know, that one, or this one is gay. A Redeemed Christian Church, they took my money and then they told me I couldn't become a member, a serving member. I couldn't serve. You've been letting me serve for so long, fixing your church, donating money. My money was good, but because I was a divorced woman, they said I could not serve officially in church. Yet, when Jesus Christ was at a bar or a place at a party hanging out with the tax collectors, a woman walked up to him. I forget what she was carrying. She started putting oil on his feet, rubbing oil on his feet. We don't know if she's Ashewo. We don't know who she is. We don't know anything about her either. We don't even know her name, but she's in the Bible. So a lot of the people that we continue to discount are the ones sometimes that are chosen. A lot of people that are afflicted are the ones that are chosen. See, my pastor wrote something today. That's it. That got me thinking about all of this stuff. Let me try and find it for you. It really touched me a lot, what my pastor wrote today. It touched me a whole lot. And I went back to the Bible and I started to have conversations about these things with my wife, because that's what I do. Can you imagine the poor woman and all my crazy conversations? Because me, I like to know. I'm very hungry for information. Because I know there has to be more to this world than what we've been taught. You know, what we've been taught is stay away from this one. Don't hang out with this one. Don't do this. How do you learn about the world when you stay in your own little cocoon? How do you learn about the universe when you don't mingle with a white person as a Nigerian? How do you learn about Black people when you don't mingle with the African Americans and you look down at them? How do African Americans learn about Africa when they don't speak to us and they think that we're less? How do Yorubas learn from Igbos? How do Hausas? How do ask yourself that question, please. Right? Ask yourself that question. So my pastor, like it's my private pastor. Sorry. I call her my pastor because she's funky as hell. Pastor Vicky is like so funky. I mean, again, I'm not here to tell anybody to go to church. I'm here to tell you to open your mind and your eyes. My pastor wrote something today that got me thinking on that line, and I had to take it back to the Bible. And she said, into this world, this demented in which there is absolutely no room for him, as in Jesus. Oh, this was so touching. As in Jesus, Christ has come uninvited. But because he cannot be at home in it, because he is out of place in it, and yet he must be in it, his place is with those others for whom there is no room. Hear me again, oh. Jesus Christ came into this world, according to Reverend Vicky Gibbs. Jesus Christ came into this world. There was no place in it for him. But because he cannot be at home in this world, because he is out of place in it, and yet he must be in it, his place is with those others for whom there is no room. His place is with those who do not belong, who are rejected by power because they are regarded as weak. Those who are discredited, who are denied the status of persons, tortured, exterminated, with those for whom there is no room, Christ is present in this world. Chai, I didn't write that one. I wish I had. And I'm going to post it as a comment. You guys should share that, please. See this thing I'm going to post as a comment? You must share it. Because this is so powerful, because a lot of times I've asked myself, why is it that bad people seem to be doing well? Why is it that people that are horrible are doing well? Why am I drawn to the birds with broken wings? Why would somebody post something on their Facebook page about what they're going through and I feel the need to go to them if you're one like me? That's because you're Christ-like. Don't ever let people tell you you're a nosy amebo. Don't let people... I posted a question about why I can't waka past things, and somebody came there and said, oh, sometimes nosy runs in the family. And I said, ooh, this heifer just jabbed at me. But then I started to think about it, and I'm like, wait. My father used to fill the whole village. My father built the first and only free technical school in my village. My father sent so many people to school. So yes, it runs in the blood. See, sometimes when somebody comes and says something that hurts you, ask yourself, why did it hurt? What do I need to get from this post? Or from this jab? Or from this sub? Because in that sub is a message. Sometimes God will use your enemy to be your messenger of the day. It's happened. And you don't have to sit there and pray and shout, die, this one must die, and oh my God, let my helper not sleep. If the guy doesn't sleep, he might drop dead and have a stroke. I beg, go let your helper sleep. See, God moves when you move. Jesus Christ came here, and because of what he felt as an outcast, he hung with the poor, he hung with the homeless, he stayed with people that you and I would claim we won't hang out with. When you look at Jesus Christ, I don't see Don King, I don't see handsome guy, I just see a homeless person, really, because that's what it looks like. He is not the pastor of Redeemed Church with Rolex watches, or Versace clothing, or Louis Vuitton suits, or private jets. The guy walked everywhere. And then he will stop somewhere and people will just dash in food. Every time somebody needs help and you help them, it's Christmas. Every time you give somebody love, it's Christmas. Every time you give somebody 5 minutes of your time and you invest your time into their lives, it's Christmas. One day, a year is not Christmas. One day. And even that one day, Seth, the very person that you're celebrating, if we all ran into Jesus Christ in various places, I assure you that not a single one of us will bring him home. But yet we'll sit here and go to church every Sunday and pray to God Almighty in the name of Jesus Christ, your Son. Amen. Can you even imagine? I beg, let me die. Look, I beg, just indulge me 1 second here. Don't laugh, because this used to be, I wrote this joke like years ago when I was doing stand-up comedy. Because at that point, my whole energy and life was shifting. You know, years ago. I said, can you imagine? Mary was carrying somebody else's son. She was married to a carpenter who had no money to build a castle to have the child in. Plus, their life was in danger. Guess what? They had to run, and this child that was here to save the world was born in a manger where they keep meh. I'm sorry. But seriously, think about it. If you can visualize this, I beg, visualize it small. You know, Mary was to be married to Joseph. Then she get Belle. And now we're saying it's the Holy Spirit. Whatever the case is, she's pregnant with somebody else's child. Technical. Check. Now, the guy she's marrying, Joseph, is a carpenter. How come God did not choose the richest man in town to go and have Jesus Christ, his one and only son? Think about it. Why did he choose an ordinary person to do amazing things? And then the son was born, and they had to be hiding him up and down, up and down, up and down. Think about it. And after they hid him, and he got older, He was in his 30s. By the time the boy was kekere, and he was seeing visions and talking. This same Jesus Christ that you guys are celebrating, oh. By the time he was like 8, 9 or something, they said, according to the Bible, at a very young age, he decided to prophesy. He decided to say things. Imagine your 7 or 9-year-old child start telling you it's going to rain and it rains. Don't go outside, you get into a car accident and you'll be like, hey, the boy has mental issues. Right? You'll be like, hey, he has mental issues. Or Igbo man will say it's a schizophrenia when he's hearing things and he starts to tell you, oh my God, I'm hearing the voice of God. Think about it. Hi, Bob Callahan. Think about it. They'll be like, that boy is a schizophrenia. Let's put him in a mental home. But yeah, we believe that Moses stood there and he heard. We believe that John the Baptist, that everybody thought was crazy, when he said the Messiah is coming. Look around you. Read the book. Pick up the Bible. All this stuff I'm saying is in the Bible. I didn't make it up. I might have added a little sugar or salt, but I didn't make it up. Everything you need is right there in the Bible. But yeah, we continue to discount people. John the Baptist was called a mad person because he kept walking around saying the Messiah is coming. Messiah is coming. Messiah is coming. And they said it was crazy. And then the Messiah came. But it didn't come with chariots. And then, guess what happened? The very boy that they tried to kill many, before the mother gave birth to her, all of a sudden, kings are coming to visit with gold, frankincense, and they're bringing gifts. The more you go around discounting people, you never know. Because when they say the Messiah is coming, none of us knows who the Messiah is. I don't even know if the Messiah is coming. I don't particularly believe that Jesus Christ is coming back because I know God is nice. But I really don't think he's going to send his son to come and die again. Again, the second time. Because God was so generous, according to the Bible. He gave us his only begotten son. There is no way I'm giving my son to anybody. I'm not giving my son to come and die for anybody, I'm sorry. And even if you did, America will put you in jail. They say you're a bad parent. Can you imagine? ACS will be at your door. Moji, what did you do? You gave your son to be hung on the cross to die. For what? For the son, for the sin of generations to come. Can you imagine? God is probably sitting there chilling and going, my God. You know, he can't say my God because it's really God, right? So he's probably sitting there sipping on a glass of wine because they drank wine in those days. So me, I drink Moscato too. He's probably sitting there saying, my God. Sorry, my God. He can't say my God. He's probably going, to himself. What did I do? Why did I waste my child, put my child to suffer? Because when Jesus Christ was on the cross, there was nobody in gold threads next to him. Guess who was there? 2 thieves. Thieves. And one of them repented. And the other one, as people were mocking Jesus, one of them repented. And then Jesus Christ forgave him. So now the guy gets a first-class ticket to heaven. Can you imagine? Who are you and I to judge other people? See, the life lessons that I continue to learn because of the pain, because I'm open, because I'm willing to learn. A lot of you guys argue or blindly or necessarily and put people down and look down at people. Gay people are going to hell. It's in the Bible that and Sodom and Gomorrah. And you don't even know the real story of Sodom and Gomorrah. Half of you don't know the real story. Because when God said, be humble, go out there and feed the people and allow people to, they didn't do it. There was so much madness going on. Everybody was shagging everybody. Men were shagging dogs and cats and kiniko. It wasn't gay people that created the problem. But of course, the pastors will tell you what you need to know so you can continue to be in fear. God is love. God is not fear. God is the absolute love. Because according to the Bible again, God gave the son that we're celebrating his birthday today, who I can assure you wasn't born on Jesus on skinny, but me. After the gift I got yesterday, honey, every day is Christmas. We can have Christmas 365 days a year for all I care. Because I used to argue the point. There's no more argument in my life because at the end of the day, one of the lessons I learned this weekend Humility. Be humble. Continue to trust that the universe has the best intentions for you. But you have to do your part. You and I are a representation or a representative of God. It's in the Bible that God created each and every one of us in his own image. So then if God created us in his own image, who am I to judge Shukura? Because I've sat here many times in this chair and I've said, oh my God, the people that date other people's wives, husbands and guinea corn, all I can do is shed a light. It's not my job to judge anybody. It's not my job to tell you what to do. It's not my job to tell you how to do it. What God sent me, Moji, to do is sit here and give you the facts. And what you do with it, it is up to you. So as I continue to do this research and go, let me see the last thing I wrote down. Matthew 21, verse 21. Jesus said, truly I tell you, tax collectors and prostitutes will enter into the kingdom of God before you, the righteous man. I'm not asking you to go and become a prostitute or to go and become a tax collector. That's not what I'm saying. No, I beg. Seriously, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, the church was created for sick people. The people that are broken, the people that are lost, the people that have been hurt. And when you walk with people that are hurt, you yourself will be hurt. This year I was broken. I wasn't shattered. Because when you're shattered, you can't piece it back together. This year I was broken because I didn't listen to spirit. I allowed a lot of flesh to step into the help that I gave. See, when you work from spirit and everybody is not my assignment. That's my new thing. Everybody is not my assignment. So when I feel something in my heart, like I did the other day, and till today, the woman is sending me, thank you. It's not about thanking me. It's just giving somebody hope to let them know that they're not alone. Because in my days when I was going through a darkness, I had friends that I could talk to on the phone. That's why sometimes I'll see your post and I'll call you. I'm not trying to be your friend. I'm married. I have a best friend. My wife is my best friend and I have a few other friends. Not a lot, maybe 5. But sometimes spirit speaks to you and I and says, do something that's out of character and we ignore it. Sometimes spirit tells me, reach out to so and so person. I stop for a minute and sometimes I ask for the Holy Spirit to guide me. Because a lot of times I have to start asking myself, why do you do what you do? Is it for ego? Or is it to stroke your ego? Or is it? Because what I went through last year, it's unbelievable. I can't even say it. It's embarrassing half the time. But even though I went through a lot, because I extended myself a lot, there were still a lot of good people. Some, not a lot. Most people were bad, but there were a few people that were good people in there. And what I realized is that if we all walk around and say, hey, everybody's bad, right? Then how does the work of God get done? And even if you don't believe in God, you believe in karma. Whatever you put out is what you get back. That homeless man that walks past you that smells like urine could be good, Jesus Christ. That guy that walked past you that smells like an alcoholic could be Jesus Christ. That Asherwo woman on the street corner that you just abuse, could be Jesus Christ. We all have to check ourselves. And I'll ask you again, this one question that I asked earlier. When I said to you on my page, and I said, and I have to find it, forgive me. When I posted this post today, it was because I had read something by Reverend Vicky. And I read that thing earlier. Let me read that one back to you again first. And I read it earlier today, and it resonated in my spirit, so I went to the Bible because whatever puzzles Moji goes inside a book. I don't know why. I'm not a scholar or anything. But I go into the books and I do research through Google. And my question today, after I read this piece, which I'm going to read to you, was, if Jesus Christ came today, would any one of us truly recognize him? because he's not wearing a Versace Armani. He doesn't smell delicious. He doesn't look good. He looks homeless. So I posted that question because of this post, which says, into the world this determined in which there is absolutely no room for him at all, Jesus Christ has come uninvited. But because he cannot be at home in it, because he is out of place in it, and yet he must be in it, his place is with those others for whom there is no room. His place is with those who do not belong, who are rejected by power because they are regarded as weak. Those who are discredited, who are denied the status of persons, tortured, exterminated, with those for whom there is no room. Jesus, I just ad-libbed, sorry. She said, Christ is present in this world. Reverend Vicky Gibbs wrote that. Now, she said, for those that are discarded, discriminated against, that was the purpose of Jesus. I mean, this is 2019. I know you guys are going to go, oh my God, that's not what the Bible says. But honey, let me tell you something. When you and I start to use our own brains and stop allowing ourselves to be brainwashed, a lot of things will turn around. A lot of people will come to the light, so to speak. There's many paths to God. I don't use one particular path. I use the Buddhist book. I use some of the Quran. I don't really like the Quran because it doesn't respect women. I use the Bible. I actually use a lot from the Yoruba tradition. I just don't realize, now that I think about it, I do. Water suits me. When I go to the beach, I'm the calmest. When I sit in a tub of water, I'm the calmest. That I got from the books. You know, you have to find what works for you. And a lot of gay people, I'm sorry, I keep going back to this gay thing. It's a huge part of my life. A lot of gay people run away from God because we're so confused. Why would God create us to be gay? And then me. I was like, I wasn't having it with Jesus. No. I wasn't having it with Jesus Christ at one point because most Christians that I met told me I was an abomination. Most Christians that I met told me I was going to go to hell. So this church, don't do it, honey. So I stayed home and I prayed to the universe, to God. I don't know. God might be Allah to you. God might be Buddha to you. What the universe is looking for is how we treat each other. How we embrace people. I'm not asking you to go to the street and bring in a crazy person into your house. That's not what Moji is saying. What Moji is saying is that when you feel something, to do something, do it. Don't wait for people to say, oh, donate to this or donate to that. Do what a lot of us do in the backgrounds where we don't tell people. Most of the things I do, I don't really tell. You know, if we need your help, you'll hear about it. If I needed to tell a story, I will, but I never mention names. So start being your brother's keepers because we don't know what Jesus Christ is going to look like when he comes. You guys are starving for 40 days. We all do, every year I do the Daniel fast because I want to get closer to God. Really? Is that really the true way to get closer to God? Or is it the way to get closer to God is to be Christ-like? And in being Christ-like, we have to be open. We have to be open. We have to be humble. We have to be grateful for each and every moment, every day. We have to be realistic. Because the universe is such a massive, amazing place to be. Take it from somebody that's tried to check out so many times. Can you imagine if I had checked out way back then because I was being bullied? Can you imagine? I can't laugh. But I have to laugh. It's not funny, but I'm sorry. It's funny. Because if I checked out because, the world was going to find out that I was a gay woman and, oh my God, my world would end. Yes, it felt like my world would end, but nothing happened. I was distraught for quite a while, and the friends that left me, they were not really my friends because my friends are still here. And then I found out today because another friend that left was because I was kind of sort of jackass. Right? Let's be real. So you got to check yourself first and ask yourself. Every time and tell yourself, If everybody is created in the image of God, good, bad, or indifferent, I'm not saying go and hang out with Jeffrey Dahmer so you can become Jeffrey Dahmer's dinner. But seriously, if everybody is created in the image of God, think about it. So all those people that I have abused, all those people that I have whatever, one of them could be Jesus Christ. And here we all are, waiting for Jesus Christ to come. And every year, we pull out our wallets and our credit cards and we go shopping. I said on the show last week, when people were asking me, what do you want for Christmas? I don't know. My wife and I give each other gifts every day. Any day, for any reason. It could be sunny outside. If I see something she'll like, I pick it up. She picks it up. And yes, take it from a woman that got a nice gift. I'm not going to say what I got, for those that are not on my private page. That got a nice gift. See, a lot of things that you don't think about is the fact that what you put out is what you get. See, for a long time, I've been posting this picture every year of that thing that I got that I wanted. And this year again, I just posted it because I thought it was funny, you know. And she left the house and came back and rang the bell and said, ding dong. Now, I give her a lot of credit. But I know the universe aligns things to work for you. Now, imagine if she had tried to talk to me and I had been like, 4 years ago. We wouldn't be married today. If she had, and I'd gone to her page and I didn't see Range Rover or Versace or Armani and all that stuff like a lot of you guys are waiting to do, I won't be where I am today. If I had been looking for somebody that was a Facebook superhero and all this and all that, the woman has 200 friends on her Facebook page and she's beginning to delete some too. Sorry, she is. I just went from 5,000 to 3,000 or to 2,000. In a year, I went from 5,000 to 2,000 Facebook friends because a lot of those people are monitoring spirits. The people that are supposed to be your members of your tribe can't find you unless you're your authentic self. Your partner can't find you because you're not who you were created to be. Or maybe you're just posing and pretending to be somebody else. If you're posing and pretending to be exactly what your partner doesn't want you to be, want in their lives, they can't find you. So for those of you guys that are married and living with a husband and all that, and you're doing jiggy on the side, let me tell you something. If you want a good relationship and a real, true, authentic, romantic, passionate relationship, you're not going to get it because most people that will date you are the same people that are in the closet just like you. So it's not going to happen. Jesus Christ was just himself, walking through the earth, doing what he was meant to do, making no apologies. It's a huge lesson. Because when I asked the question earlier today and I said on my page, right? I said on my page, funny. I said today I met a poor, weird-looking homeless man wandering the streets with fellow homeless people. He was standing outside a bar with some women of questionable morality. He is well known by the store owners in the area, apparently. Some of the friends are thieves, gangbangers, and dope fiends. And he told me he was throwing a birthday party and had the nerve to invite me. My question was, would you go? My question was, would you go? 4 out of 5 people said they would not go. But yet, millions of people are celebrating the birth of Christ. The same man who hung out with thieves, tax collectors, who hung out with ashewos, even allowed an ashewo, I assume, to pour oil on his feet and massage it and rub it, who drank water from the lady by the well. The lady by the well was a big time ashewo woman in our books. Because she had 5 husbands. And even the guy that she was dating at the moment belonged to somebody else. Me and you would have gone at her and beat the crap out of her just because. Because we're judgmental like that. Yes, I am. And this thing today, just a bulb went off in my head and I'm like, wait. We're all messengers of God. We're all messengers of God. Each and every person is allegedly created in the image of God. And for you guys that believe on that, you need to start acting like it. You need to start showing love to the people that are less fortunate than you. I'm not saying start giving them money. I'm saying showing love. Love is time. Love is talking. Love is sharing your time, your wisdom, your knowledge with people. By the way, make sure you put boundaries around you because they will suck you dry. You know, everybody's not Jesus Christ. Sorry, but that's the truth. When we become less judgmental, and I had to check myself, like I said earlier, because I, just like you, sometimes believe that we know it all. Everybody that's going through a transformation goes through transformation at different stages. And at those different stages, they all need somebody to guide them through that stage. Maybe my purpose in somebody's life is only 1 hour, 2 hours. Like I told you, Marcus Williams was the only one that said he would go out. He would go to the birthday party of the man that I described in my post. He was the same man that called me in 2011 on Christmas Day. He didn't even know that he saved my life that day because I was in a very dark place. That call and his words resonated in my spirit when he said, Moji, you lost a lot of homes. You lost everything. You're homeless. You're going to be okay. I assure you it's going to get better. I don't know if he's a woli or not, so please don't go calling him and asking him to see vision because that's not the point. The point is, every time we reach out to somebody else that's in need, that's suffering, a small high, a small high five, a small you can do this, don't worry, a small smile when you're walking down the street and you see a homeless person, even if it's just coffee that you buy that person and you don't give them money, you are the angel of the day because that's what we all are. Because if Jesus Christ, the Son of God, that looks homeless, that doesn't wear that did not wear designer clothes, he didn't have golden chariots, he didn't have, I mean, the guy hung out with 12 Jekredu people, and out of the 12 people, one person sold him out for 30 silver coins. Who are you and I to get upset because one person jacked us? And me, I'm always whining. Somebody 419'd me. Okay. But you know, when I look at the whole story of people that 419 me, through the people that 419 me, I've met amazing people. Through the same people that 419 me, I have met really, really, really good people. So, should they have 419 me? I don't know. Did it feel good? Of course it didn't feel good. But their purpose in my life was to get me to meet other people. And sometimes I forget. Sometimes I forget to cut people a slack. Sometimes I forget that everybody's going through something and you do too. So the next time you are amongst your friends and they're bullying somebody on social media, stand up for them. The next time you're amongst your friends and they're talking jagbajantis about gay people, you know Moji is not crazy. Well, maybe don't use me, but you know my wife is not crazy. Seriously. But you know a lot of people by now that are gay and they're not crazy. Stand up for them. When you see a woman that has been married 5, 10 times, don't call her a shower because you don't know her story. And even if you think you know her story, you really don't. That was a lesson that I learned. See, I used to sit here and be all uppity because I came out of the closet and I didn't cheat on my ex-husband and da-da-da-da-da. Let me tell you something. What I now know is that, yeah, I didn't cheat because I didn't have the courage to cheat. That's the truth. It's not because I never even thought about it because I was so busy. I jammed my life so busy and I tried to kill myself several times. But the people that are going through it at their own pace. And I keep praying that one day they wake up so that they can experience the joy and the love that I am experiencing at the moment. Because when you're in the closet, sorry, nobody that really is valuable is going to want to hide in the closet with you. How do you get authentic love when you're both sneaking a piece of cake? Half of a cake, a quarter of a cake, Seth. You understand? So when we look at people and we discount them, how do we know we're not discounting Jesus Christ? How do we know we're not talking crap about Jesus Christ? Because we're all waiting for God to send his son again. How do you know that homeless man that you walk past is not Jesus Christ? That's the question. I hope you guys had an amazing Christmas. I hope to God that you got what you wanted and more. For me, time is the most precious thing anybody can give me. For those of you guys that call me and text me and all that stuff, you know, Ade Iwa is on here. Sometimes I'll need something from Nigeria and I'll send her, who's the tailor, who's the this, what contractor can I trust? That for me is very valuable. It doesn't stop me from telling the truth. It doesn't stop me from admitting that you and I, we have a lot of work to do. We all have a lot of work to do. So let's go out there and spread love. Forget about getting into heaven, because nobody really knows if there's heaven or hell. But I know for a fact that you can live on earth and be in heaven. Or you can live on earth and be in hell. I've been there in both places. And I know that what you do in this moment today, what you do tomorrow, how you treat people, that's what I, Moji, believe that Jesus Christ and God is looking for. Your heart. Amazing New Year is coming up. I am so excited about the new year because this year was very challenging. I broke my shoulder. I was out of whack for a long, long time. I still can't move my arm. But I'm alive, I'm kicking, and so are you. So let's go into the new year 2020. Become trailblazers. Become kind. Let's all become gentle with each other. Let's hold each other's heart, you know, without breaking it. You know, there's going to be good and bad people because that's what the world is all about. We're not all good, even me. I have Moji that comes out once in a while. But bottom line is, be the best version of Jesus Christ that you can be. And let's all stop making this Christmas thing the only time we're good to each other and giving gifts. People give gifts to people they don't even like. I stopped doing that a few years ago. Some people I just give a gift to so that they can say, thank you. But I don't do that anymore. Because at this point, I'd rather give a homeless man money and let him go and have a hot meal for a change. We're all equal in the eyes of God. Nobody's better than the other in the eyes of God. It doesn't mean I'm going to hang out with every Tom, Dick, and Jones. We all must have our boundaries. But when you do things from the heart, trust me, the universe, God, Allah, Buddha is watching. May our tomorrow be better than our today. Thank you for hanging with me. And yay! Èmi náà rè Olúwa, èmi náà rè Olúwa. Mo wá dúpẹ́ oore àmọ́júmọ́jú. Mo wá dúpẹ́ oore àmójúmóṣù. Mo wá dúpẹ́ oore ìgbà gbogbo. Ṣèmi náà rè Olúwa. For those of you that don't speak Yoruba, the song says, is this me, oh God? Is this me? Is this me, oh God? Is this me? I thank you for the past. I thank you for the present. And I thank you for the future. Because when you've walked through fire the way I have, when you've gone from here to there, you've been homeless, you've been this, you've lost all your businesses. Some I shut down, but when the real estate market crashed, I lost a lot. When I decided to become my authentic self, I had to sign away 7 houses to my ex. And I'm okay with it. And because I was willing to pay the price, because I believe, and I didn't do it on my own. No. A lot of people stepped in. And that's why I continue to pay forward. Because random people will just do things. And that's why I keep doing what I do. Because I know the pain. I know what it feels like not to have. So this song that's my new national anthem. The national anthem is now, I thank you, God, for yesterday. I thank you for today. And I thank you for the future. No more open the doors to my happiness, because if I continue to wait, I'm being ungrateful. So I am grateful for every day now. So I thank you guys for your time, because time is the most precious thing we have.